Everyone, welcome back to the tutorial series on how to make AI agent powered with RAG. And we are now reached to the point where we have to create our interactive web application top of the code which we have written so far, right? So this is the last code piece of code which we have written where we just make the AI agent where we can ask the question and then our query will be contextualized with, the existing data in our vector database. So now we reach to the point where we can just create our interactive application, right? So I was just struggling to figure out which library I need to use, which are easy to use and anyone can use them. And I just came across with these two fantastic library of Python, Streamlit and Gradio. Right, and I was doing some research like which one is going to be the best and the easy for us. And I must, confess that both libraries are very good, right? I just tried to put together some more insight about these two libraries. We can understand, who built it, why they have built it, and we are going to see some working code. And at the end, I'm going to show you whatever piece of code we have written. If we just do a little bit of cleanup with that and just add few lines of code, we can just have our own interactive web application, right? So just to start with, let's have a one working piece of logic. So here you can see this is a very simple application where we can ask questions. So we can simply ask what is container orchestration, right? So now what is happening is this is just a Gradio based web application, and I just asked the question and we are going to get the answer, right? Earlier in the previous video, we were just getting on our PyCharm terminal, right? How did I achieve that, right? This is very simple, right? I just did the code cleanup. Now the code looks pretty cleaner because I just put the code into the functions. And now these are the two lines which I just added. And we're gonna just evaluate not only Gradio, but the Streamlit as well. So you have seen the working piece and just having two lines of code, we can just have our interactive web application, right? So now come back to a little bit of, the Streamlit and the Gradio, right? So as you can see on my screen, Gradio launched first and back in early 2019, right? This is really easy and this was really helping, machine learning researcher or the data scientist to just share, what their models capabilities are. And because of its promising nature, Hugging Face just acquired that in 2022, right? And now you can see in Hugging Face, if you just go to the spaces, on Hugging Face where we have a lot of, good, models, you can see this is the place where you can find out, all the models which are just being published, they are heavily using Gradio, right? Similarly, for Streamlit, it was again came back in late of 2019. Again, it was, doing the same thing, but this was giving a more, power to the user who wants to use it. But it has a little bit of, I would say as compared to the Gradio, you have to know a little bit of Python programming as well. And this library of this, just got acquired by Snowflake in again 2022. Right. So the next part, what is the main idea behind Streamlit and Gradio? As you would have got it, the idea like, see, if you want to build any web application, for example, in Python, we have a lot of libraries. We have Fast API, Flask, Django, we can use them, right? But those require, you should have a lot of coding understanding. You should be knowing HTML, JavaScript, and, the CSS, right? And you have to know a lot of Python code as well. But whereas when you use this Streamlit and Gradio, you don't have to learn all these languages, right? This is very easy. If you know Python, you don't have to learn very thorough HTML, JS, and CSS. By using the syntax and the component which these libraries provide, you can just have your web application up and running. So now you can see the idea behind, the Gradio is amazing for quick ML model demos. It's super lightweight, minimal code, even if you're public sharing. That is what I'm going to show you in a just a minute, right? Streamlit is better, as I explained. It is just providing the full control. It can give you, custom layouts and all those kind of stuff, which we're gonna see within action, right? So in the next part, what I have done is to just showcase the capabilities of, these libraries. What you need is first you have to just install pip install Gradio and pip install Streamlit, and both the libraries will be up and running. right? Now what I have done is I have just created three different categories of application. The first one is simple text input. How the simple text input would look like if we just wanted to enter the data and just wanted to, give some kind of output. So now if you just see the Gradio based code, these are the 5 lines of code which we have to write. We have to import Gradio. We have to create a function here. What we are doing, accepting a name and just returning that name, right? And then this is where the magic is happening. So in Gradio, we have this interface class where we need to feed in three main attributes: the function, inputs, and the outputs, right? So we can just click on that and we can just get to know about this class more if you want, right? Right now, just stick to this one. So what happens is, let me just close this one because we have seen that, how this works. Okay, so I just close that one. Now what you have to do is you have to just run this. So first I have to get into my simple, and then I have to remove this Python radio. Okay. A little bit of time, but in the meantime, let's just quickly see the stream. Here, if you want to do the same thing in Streamlit, just have a text input field and then just output that. You just need to write these 3 lines of, right? So let's see. Now this is available on this URL. So let's quickly click on this part, come back to our browser, and let me just, right? See, now you got this web page where you can enter anything, okay? Learning, right? So now it will say hello learning, right? So this, if you just see, this is the same structure which I used where I can ask the question and then, my AI agent is going to give me the answer, which is powered by the vector database where we have our recent data uploaded, right? Same thing with Streamlit, right? If, I just run the same. So here the syntax is a little different. You have to use the Streamlit run, and then you have to just give the name where your Streamlit code is. Okay. So I have to just get it in the, okay. That's just tab. Okay, now it's running 8501, and I can simply say again, learning, right? If I just enter that, now you can see hello learning, right? So it's pretty straightforward. We have a web application where our server is running, but the Gradio seems to be more powerful because we have to just write a few lines of code and we are seeing a very, easy interface to use. Whereas in Streamlit, as I mentioned, you have to create your layout by yourself, but Gradio just gives you the predefined layout. So you don't have to worry about that, right? That's just a one thing. It doesn't mean that, because Streamlit gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to have a very complicated application, you will realize that you have to use Stream. Right now, the main purpose is, as I mentioned, if you really want a super fast demo, then you will go for a Gradio. But if you need a more control, you have your very complicated, flow in your web application, then you should just stick to the Streamlit, and that's what you're gonna see. Right. The main analogy which I can see, I can use here is Gradio is like your disposal camera, whereas the Streamlit is a professional DSLR, and we know that disposal camera can be used by anyone, whereas when it comes to a professional DSLR, you have to invest a lot of time to learn the concept of the DSLR and how to use it and how to just make a use of it. But we know that once you have the capability to know how to use the DSLR, you can just do the magic which you cannot do with the disposal camera. Okay. So the next working code which I'm going to use and I'm going to showcase you, which is related to the image classifier, right? So now I'm going to stop this. Okay, I'm going to stop this as well. And now I'm going to come out and I'm going to get into the image classifier. And I'm going to use the, okay, I'm just going to use Python, radio. Okay, and now same thing I'm going to do with the image classifier. And here we have a Streamlit, run stream, right? Again, I'm going to run this. Here you can see this is for the image, right? So what you can do, you can just browse any image, right? Whatever you want. So I am in this experiment where we have gradients, okay, image classifier, and we have an image of text. right? So once I have this cat image, it is just prediction is cat. This is for the Streamlit, right? But let's see what happens if we just do the same thing, because what I have done here again, you can use the cat and now submit and you are seeing cat, right? So this is again the same concept, but the code is a little bit different, and let's just quickly see the code. This is how the code look like on a Gradio side, and this is the code which looks like on a Streamlit, right? If you want, I can quickly open the code. It's pretty same code which we have in a PPT, and same for the Streamlit. Now, the last one is for the calculator one, right? These are just a simple example which I use just to showcase, how these, libraries are powerful. Okay, and then we are going to just do a little bit of more analysis once I cover all these working code. Okay, this is just to give you the sense that these tools are very powerful, right? Here you can see this is the calculator based on a Streamlit. The code is straightforward. If I just come here on our PPT, code structure, just quickly cover the code structure. Gradio is perfect. We all understood this, right? So now, okay, now the simple calculator, then the Streamlit code, which you can see on a screen, the code is very only few lines of code you have to write to just have such kind of application up and running. Here you can just have, 0.008, 0.009, you can add, and you are getting this one, right? That's good. And simply, if I just come here, let's come back. Okay, and just go to run that. Okay, so if I just refresh now, we have two values, so we can just simply say 5, 6, and then we can have 7, we can say 30. Now we can see 30, right? So now you can see by just having only few lines of code in both these libraries, you can have a working application, because what it provides you, it's just provide when you run them, it has its own development server, right? That is something which you can easily deploy in both these libraries, because they provide a deployment strategy as well, which is very good and very mature now, right? So you can just go to the Streamlit documentation, you can go for the Gradio documentation. Both the libraries having a very comprehensive documents which you can just go through. Right? So now we understood, both these libraries are very awesome to use, right? And the final conclusion here is, if you really want a quick and shareable, ML or AI tools based web application, you can just go for the Gradio. But if you need a very complicated or, very comprehensive, which if you have a lot of, conditional or dashboard or the data points which you want to showcase, I think the Streamlit would be the best option, right? So basically it's completely depend what kind of use case you have, and depending upon that, you can just go for the Gradio or Streamlit, right? This is a very, high level comparison which I have done here is on the three different scales, like ease of start, flexibility, when to prefer, right? So Gradio is definitely a very easy and very fast to learn. Streamlit is also easy, but you have to do a lot of things manually, because you have to just structure your layout and all those kind of stuff. Though both the libraries are having a good components to use, but if, as I mentioned several times, if you really need a very comprehensive kind of web application to build over your machine learning model or your AI tools or LLMs, you should go for the Streamlit. Flexibility, as I mentioned that in Gradio, we have already a top built-in components. If you want to create your custom, you can do that, right? But Streamlit and flexibility comes up with more option, because everything is in your control, because it's not fixed by anything, right? That's what we have already seen, because when you use Gradio, you just get the very fixed architect, fixed layout, which you can play with that as well. Okay, so when to prefer what? So as we have talked about this multiple times, if you need a quick ML model demo or the AI tool model, lightweight sharing, you will go for the Gradio. But if you really need some kind of real-time application or a production like in application, I would recommend you to just go for the Streamlit. Again, it's very subjective, like what precisely you want to achieve, accordingly you can decide. So now that's it from my side. I know it's just an off topic from our tutorial series, but it's really important, because initially I was thinking I am going to use a Streamlit, but it seems like, if we just use a Gradio, which is far easier, then I think Gradio is the one which I'm going to use in our next video. So I will just show you quickly how you can just clean up the code which we have written, and then we can use the Gradio. And the next one, definitely we can just use the Streamlit as well to just achieve the same thing which we're going to achieve with the Gradio. And then we can just compare which one is good for our case. You can also do the same thing depending upon your use case. And this is what I wanted to cover. But if you still have any question, I would love to hear from you. So whatever question you have, if you have any feedback or suggestion for this video, please put that in the comments section, and I would love to incorporate them. And again, if you have used any other library which you feel is, good to know for other folks to know, please put that in the comment section, because that way we can just help our community. Right. So that's it from my side for this particular video. If you really like this video, I would say give a thumbs up, and click on a notification bell. So whenever I'm going to publish my new video, you will get notified for that. And if you like this video, give a thumbs up. And if you feel this kind of video can help your friends, colleagues, and group, please feel free to share with them. And if you haven't subscribed for my channel, please subscribe for my channel. As always, stay healthy and keep learning new things.